America is under siege. The globalists bought off the corporate media. They are literally enemies of the people. They know what they're doing. And they are selectively deciding what they want to burn down and what they want to destroy and what they want to take over.
You'll see in fire areas that lands are, more and more land is owned by the federal government, the state government, and the county governments. And they're not clearing out the undergrowth. They're not maintaining the forests. And so they're more susceptible to fire danger. And the fires are larger and are moving more quickly because the undergrowth is not being removed. So people out in rural areas might find that they're restricted in whether they can return to their properties or not.
You burn out the areas you want first, outside Austin, they're going to be the most valuable later. You burn out all the poor areas, you burn them to the ground with forced gentrification, and then you come in behind it. Look at the overlaid map of the UN Agenda 21, where they would not allow fire breaks and rewilding, and match where the fires are.
Before America was America, there were Native Americans that roamed this nation from one end to the other, and they culled and they used the resources in these forests. Government has now created a situation where they say the best, most environmentally friendly thing that we can do is to keep humans out of these areas. So as they restrict many hundreds of acres from forestry management of any kind, hunting, recreation, even housing, we're creating a disaster. These forests are filled with fuel, and let's face it, one lightning strike and these things go up and it burns. The fire does not know boundaries. It burns off from the parks. It burns through neighborhoods, people's homes, their businesses and schools. And it's only then when they go into their town hall and ask, or better yet, beg them for a permit to rebuild, and they're told there's no more single-family homes in their area, it's only then that the light goes on.
Here's President Trump. He is deplaning from Air Force One. He's at Beale Air Force Base in California. He's there to survey fire damage from the raging wildfires. So far, they've killed 75 people, Leland.
But when President Trump blamed the fires on poor forest management, apologists of sustainable development pilloried him, stating that forest fires are being caused by global warming, not 30 years of Agenda 21-inspired restrictions on timber harvesting, fire breaks, prescribed burning, and tree clearing.
We've been barred by Democrat policies from building what's called fire breaks and controlled burns. And the president points this out, and the controlled media goes, he's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And they cut to a clip of him saying they need to cut the brush out. They need to cut the weeds out. They need to create lanes so the fire doesn't jump over. And they go, man, he's really crazy. No one's ever heard of that. He's making it up.
The forest fire, especially in the U.S. context, is absolutely has nothing to do with climate change. It's mostly caused by the government poor management of all these wildland areas, not allowing trees to be cut down so you serve as a fuel for fire. Any amount of dryness, this is clearly a management issue that is poorly managed. And I would say that if you want to find blames, I mean, the government is the one to be blamed.
Preeminent conspiracy researchers claim that recent wildfires in California, such as the 2017 Tubbs Fire and the 2018 Camp Fire in Paradise, were started or intensified with concentrated energy weapons.
What we see in these fires is entirely a different pattern. We are seeing the plant life act as the resistance to the fire, and we are seeing things that would ordinarily resist fire burn down to white ash. It is actually very similar to some of the patterns that we saw on 9/11/2001. And it would not be out of the realm of the imagination to think that this may be what is referred to as scalar interferometry weaponry.
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County. A man came across this tree burning from the inside out. The tree appears to be hollowed out by embers and flames.
I highly recommend the work of Thomas Bearden. People who are familiar with the work of Nikola Tesla should look into what Tesla did with scalar waves. And I think it's very possible that these types of directed energy weapons or concentrated energy weapons not only have been actively developed by covert factions of our military-industrial complex, but it's very possible that we may have already seen them deployed and used in test circumstances.
If Americans don't wake up, Agenda 21 and its most recent spawn, the Green New Deal, will destroy not only our natural resources, but our entire constitutional republic.